Now that is very picturesque. So first up is the Kaercher Pack. This is by DD Mod Passion, 0.36 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, we're starting off anyway, under tools. Now obviously we're used to having a Kaercher pressure washer in the game, no problems. You know, you can get into it as a vehicle, you can drive it around, push it around rather than driving it, and you know, you can pick up the lance and you can give yourself a jet wash off. Dear, oh dear, right, no problem. Now, what this also, because obviously that's sort of base game stuff, what this also does, if you go into the shop menu and come down to miscellaneous, we do have these two as well. Yeah, you can now buy a lance that goes in your pocket, so you don't even have to worry about having one of those. So we come over here, and it opens it up like a normal torch does. So L being up on the D-pad. So we've got the torch, then we've got the lance. There we are. So we're all the way over here, still giving it a bit of a spray. So you could go anywhere. I mean, you don't even have to have the jet wash, to be fair. And you can just clean wherever you want to. Oh, fair enough. Right, next up is House from the 70s. This is by Concy, 12.8 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under farmhouses. Now, it's going to cost you 50 grand. And I'm going to say it's a little bit basic, but then I'm thinking about it. This is, I would say, if you're going down the role play sort of scenario of you've just bought the house or you've just built the house and you're moving in. Yeah, we'll see as we get inside. Now, we've got our sleep trigger at the front door there, but you can open the front door. So once you come inside, and this is what I mean by it being down the old immersive route, yeah, you haven't quite moved everything in. I mean, you've got your wardrobe trigger in there, which is where the bedroom would be. So you've already put your wardrobe in there. You're just waiting for the van to come back with the rest of your stuff. That sort of thing. I mean, obviously, priorities. You've got your fridge there, plugged in, keeping the old Diet Coke nice and cool. So it is very barren. We'll put it that way. I mean, that's your bathroom. But obviously, once you've just built a house, you know, you're not going to have all your stuff straight in. That's your living room. So it's just like one of those in-between sort of stages. I mean, the patio furniture is your dining room table, so no problem on there. But that being said, obviously, you know, it goes down the whole immersive route. You've just built it. Just finished doing what you're doing with it, and now you need to move in. Oh, fair enough. Right, next up is Farm Fountain. This is by NASA B82, 1.17 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under decorations for some reason. Yeah, not under containers or tools. But alright, fair enough. Now, this is going to cost you 2.5 grand, and it is a water trigger. But to be fair, that looks alright indeed. Very picturesque. Sort of like, I don't know, maybe old French style, like an old French village fountain. No worries. Now, the icon for the trigger is there, which may seem a little bit high, but it's alright, because all you need to do is just pull your piece of equipment behind and then fill up. We're not getting charged anything, it's free. Oh, that's alright. Right, next up is Beehive with 3 large frames. This is by Doodoo RGM, 6.33 megabyte on the download, and as you can imagine, it's going to be found under bees. Now, it's going to cost you 1,500 to buy, and obviously they're going to be collecting the nectar in for you to make your honey. Well, for them to make the honey for you, because obviously you don't make it yourself, do you? You will need to put a honey pallet spawn point down, but to be fair, they look alright. I mean, maybe like homemade style. Yeah, very nice. Right, next up is Old Cowshed. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy, 6.48 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under cows. Now, it's going to cost you 50 grand, and it's going to hold 40 of the old beef burgers, because, you know, why not? Now, we have got a couple of interesting things with this. We'll put it that way. Now, this door doesn't open. This door doesn't open. This door does open. This door does open. But what you'll see is we'll open that door. There's me cows inside. We'll open this door. Gonna slide straight through. Fair enough. And you can also close the door behind it, but alright, no problem. Now, the animal dialogue box, which is an interesting one. So if we come over to this bit, and we'll see in the top left-hand corner, we get an option to put it in from here. But, if we look inside there, the animal dialogue box is just up by that wall. It's a very big animal dialogue box. We'll just call it that anyway. Now you've got this door that opens as well. So if you did fancy bringing a trailer down, to just facilitate getting your cows into the shed. And you come in here, you got your loading in point for your food just there. Now to get the straw in, you will need a straw blower. It doesn't work on a trigger on the floor, so just bear that in mind. Then we'll come down this end, open up that door like that. There we are. Once you come out here, you've got your slurry taking out point just there. You then got your milk taking out point just there. And if you really did fancy it, I mean, like, we're here with the old animal dialogue box. Right outside, no problem. So either end, you're golden. If you did want to actually go to the icon, just go through this door, and there it is. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough indeed. Right, next up is the Lizard N012. This is by Zimov, 4.38 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under fertilizer spreaders. Now, this is going to do your solid fertilizer and your lime, which is interesting. Don't really normally see that on these small ones, but okay. 253 litre capacity, 15 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 10 metre working width with a 7 mile an hour working speed, and it's only going to cost you $790. That is well cheap. Definitely for the old school roleplay, the low horsepower requirement, definitely like on the old tractors, that'll be all right indeed. You can then change the capacity, go up to 326 litres or 253, so go for the larger ones, a lot easier. Decal on the extensions, you've got number 1, I'll spin it around the back, have a better idea. So you've got number 1, number 2, and then nothing. You've got your covers, number 1, number 2, just going to be those on the bottom, number 3, or none. Then you've got attachers, so you've got your standard. You then got your trailer hitch on the back. Oh, that's interesting. So you could potentially have this on the back of your tractor on the 3-point. You can then have some sort of trailer behind it with some more fertilizer or lime in the back. Interesting indeed. Then you've got your main colour, which is obviously going to be your main colour. You then got your design colour. It's going to be, we'll go over red. Oh, is it going to be the old covers? There we are. Design colour is your covers. That being said, $790. That is wow cheap. Right, next up is the Faresin PF1.13. This is by Proxim, 1.93 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under animals. Now, it's going to require 60 horsepower from your tractor, 13,000 litre capacity, and it's going to cost you 30 grand. Obviously, this is going to be for your TMR mixing shenanigans. You do have the option to change the main colour, so if you've got the unlimited colour mod on, you're golden. Does those bits. I mean, the bottom conveyor belt stays the green, but all right, fair enough. I mean, 13,000. Yeah, I think you may struggle with the old bale recipe on that one, but go for it. Right, next up is the Pavelli RAT Pack. This is by DD Mod Passion, 11.99 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them in 2 different places. The first one is going to be under bale transport, and the second one is going to be under low loaders. Now, something a little bit random about this, because one starts off as a bale transportation, and then one starts off as a low loader, but you can change them to either. So I'm not quite sure why there's 2, but all right, fair enough. So it starts off on the bale loader one. Now, both going to do 52 bales, which is all right. Now, it's going to be 125 to 180 centimetre round bales, or 180 to 240 centimetre square bales. Right, fair enough. You're then going to need, well, it says 9 metre working width, which is a little bit random because it's not a sort of piece of equipment that would have a working width, unless they mean in the area that you can actually pick up bales. Okay, fair enough. You can then change it to, as you said before, low loaders. Now, apart from having the auto load for the bales, the options are pretty much the same, so entirely up to you. You're then going to have your wheel brands, your Continental, your Trelleborg, BKT, and then back to Continental. You have got a couple of different versions on the go in there if you want. Then you've got your loading mode for the bale transport, auto load, obviously, every day of the week, or your manual. That's entirely up to you. You can then change the brand colours. You can have the Pavelli, you can have the Case IH, the Class, the Deutzfahr, Fendt, JCB, John Deere, Kubota, Landini, Massey Ferguson, McCormick, New Holland, Steyr, Voucher, Zetor, a straight up black version, so plain if you like that, and then back to the Pavelli. You come down, you've got some rear lights like that, there we are, so 1 or 2 or 3, and then back to number 1. Now, names are going to be just on the front corner there. So you've got your number, and then it'll go all the way up to the letter as well, all up to Z. So 1 to Z. All right, fair enough. Now, attacher type. So you got your K80 or your F3. So it's what's that, ball or pin hitch? All right, fair enough. Air hoses. So you can either have them spiral or non-spiral. You then got your beacon light. So you can have that. Spin it around the back. There we are. You can have it as flashing or rotating. And then come down to tension belts. Now, to be fair, this is, I'd say, primarily for the low loader. Yeah, orange or nothing. Yeah, I mean, they do say if you got auto load, don't have the tension belts, but I'll show you in a minute what I mean. You then got your type of license plates around the back, so you can have the map style, or you can have an Italian license plate. You then got your hub colour, so you can go for anything like that, so match it up with whatever brands you've gone for up the top. And then your rim colour is obviously going to be the rims. Now, first off on this, we've got the old bale trailer. Now, you do LB and X, start charging. That's what it actually means by loading. So we come across to the bales. There we are, a little bit easier like that. Zoom in a little. There we are. That's better. So we're going to load them all in. Come on, last one. Get on the trailer. There we are. Jobs are good. Right, so we now got a few options with this. First off, we'll do stop charging. So we've got fasten tension belts, and I put teeth in. Now on the bale transporter, this is ace, because it puts that wire up the side, and I'm like, if you got a load stacked up, obviously it's going to keep them in place. That is brilliant. I mean, obviously on the standard one, you'd have just the orange ones like that, but I like that. That is awesome. Very nice indeed. Now, you do have the old crane options, which is going to be for your unloading the bales. So we'll do LB and Y, unload those. Then got LB and right stick left and right, as you can imagine. LB and right stick up and down, just backwards and forwards like that. We'll then do LB and right stick left and right. Look at that. LB and RB left and right is tilted like that, sorry. You then got RB and right stick left and right, spin it like that. RB and right stick up and down does that bit. Alright, there's definitely a lot of movement on that. Okay, and we'll just drop the bales there. Now also, there is one other thing. So if we do LB and RB together and left stick left and right, it's going to move the trailer in and out like that. Alright, fair enough indeed. Now obviously you have got the the ramp. That's a better way of putting it. Well, that's a way of putting it. The ramp on the back. Now it doesn't open on the bale transport one, but if you are going to go for the standard low loader, you just come up to it like that. LB and A, unfold it, jobs are good. That's an alright trailer set, that is. Right, next up is the Lemken VarioPack 110. This is by Niku Picks, 4.86 megabyte in the download, and you're going to find it under Disc Harrows. Now, it starts off a 30 horsepower requirement for me tractor and a 4 meter working width with a 9 mile an hour working speed for just a touch under 13 grand. You have the option of working lights, lights with turn signals, or working lights, and then we can upgrade it. 4.5 meter, then go to a 5 meter, 6 meter, and then back to a 4 meter. So 30 horsepower at 4 meter, 50 horsepower at 6 meter. Now, obviously, this is designed to go on the front of your tractor. So if you've got another piece of equipment on the back, like a seeder, that's like not a direct drill, get this on the front, seeder on the back, 2 jobs in one. Oh, that's ace. Right, next up is the MAN TGX 18500 4x2. This is by Castan 18, 43 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under trucks. Now, it's got a 500 horsepower engine, 49 mile an hour top speed for 120 grand, although we do have an optional extra. There you are. That's the standard base version. So the option on spoilers, so we've got the fairings on the side, the fairings and a spoiler on the top, or nothing. Now, go with those actually, 1400. Definitely worth it, just for the aesthetics of it all. Now, the fenders are going to be on the back, so you can either have some open ones or some closed ones. Then got your cabin colour. Now, the first one is going to be the lower cabin, so we'll go with that. Why not? You then got your main cabin colour, which is going to be obviously the rest of it. And then you got your rim colour, which is going to be your rims, as you can well imagine. Wow, that's bright. You're definitely going to see that coming. No, but that's an alright truck now. I mean, yeah, there are not many trucks out in the game so far, so that's great to have it. And the last mod for the day is the map, the Risoux Forest. This is by JM Gaming, 383.31 megabyte on the download. And this is definitely one for the loggers that like to play this game, because apparently, according to the website, there's 20,000 trees on this map. Ah, right, fair enough. Now, the map is this bit here. Now, on New Farm, obviously, you're going to be owning a little bit of land. So you've got area number 62, and you've also got the, I call it Start Farm? Yeah, just there, number 60. But apart from that, you don't own anything else. And apart from that, well, apart from this area anyway, it's definitely one for the exploring. We'll call it that anyway. So we'll come into the main farm area. Now, on our left-hand side, we've got a little bit of everything over here. We've got our animal dealer, and we've got a sell point as well. So you've got your animal dealer just there, and then obviously sell point. That's called pet supplies, even though it's a bale sell point. All right, fair enough. Spin it around here, and we've got a fuel tank. All right, fair enough. So you've got a taking it out point. That's going to be a fuel tank sell point. That looks like it's seen better days. That's been there for a while. We've got a fuel station just there, although that's a water icon, but alright, fair enough. No problem. And we come over here, and we've got our workshop trigger by hatch marking area. Nice new looking John Deere dealership out in the middle of nowhere. Although I suppose the paint's flaking off the side of the wall a little bit. Oh dear. No problem at all. And we'll come across the road. We'll call it the road. It's a dirt track, but okay. So we've got another sell point over here. And we come around here like that. And we've got another building here. Can we go in here? No, we can't. Alright, fair enough. So there's a couple of little things. You've got debris crusher just there as well. That's a random building to have in the middle of your farm area that you can't go in. Alright, okay, no problem. Now over here is going to be where your equipment is. And then we'll come up here, and we have got a house, a little sleep trigger just by this building here. So you've got your wardrobe trigger just there, sleep trigger just there, and that's about it. I mean, you've got a little bit of a garden shed, and you could get some homebrew on the go in there if you wanted to. Oh look, I've got a little barbecue on the go. Oh, let's get some sausages on there. That's ace. Be careful barbecuing in a forest. You don't want to start any fires, mind you, but I like that. That is all right indeed. Now, obviously, we've got our equipment just here. Now, on the slot count perspective, if on New Farmer, you're going to use 939 slots. And that's with all this equipment. And bearing in mind this is a logging map, you've got some decent equipment there. So you get the International Series 200. You get the John Deere 843L2. The John Deere 8R410. The Komatsu 951. The Ponzi Bison Active Frame. The TMC Cancella TFR 250. And the Tajfun EGV 65 AHK SG. Which, to be fair, with all that put together, I mean, that's a fairly decent set of, well, I say fairly, that's a very decent set of equipment for starting off on a logging map. No problem. As you would imagine with a logging map, there's going to be an abundance of trees. Now, there is a couple of fields knocking around that you can buy. I mean, the actual areas that you buy with the trees, forest on, whatever, they're not that badly priced, I must admit. Obviously, you're going to make a decent bit of cash out of the logging scenarios, and then just plough out your fields as you go. But definitely, if you like your logging, this is a decent map for you to get started, especially the fact that you've got all round your base farm anyway. And there is a sawmill on the maps, obviously. Once you've done your tree chopping downery, you can take it all down to there and make some stuff out of it. Haha, why not?